at WLFE-DB.com for upcoming shows and so much more.
Hey everyone, it's Tuesday night again. You know what that means, don't you? It's time to join Mike and Kristie for another episode of Where's My Sage? A show hosted by a psychic medium and a guy on a quest to find Bigfoot. Who would have thought? Together, they will take you on all sorts of adventures, and not with lots of different people. Kristie even gives readings. It's time to sit back, get up and get ready. You can't sample the universe sitting down. Your hosts are waiting. Come on, let's go!
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mike, and welcome to Where's My Sage? Good evening, Kristie London, my wonderful co-host. How are you this evening? And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Kristie London forgot to unmute herself this evening. Well, you muted things from your end this evening.
I didn't get that raise you wanted.
Yeah. I'm definitely, that way we're going to go. So we're here. We're here for another wonderful Tuesday evening. I didn't hijack it to do a Bigfoot show or anything. So that's a good thing. So what's new and exciting on your side? No, it could be. I could do that. So folks are starting to tune in now. Tomorrow night might be a good hijack.
I gotta do hot flashes count because I've had a whole lot this week. I mean, does stress really induce hot flashes? Because that's really bull crap.
Okay.
Being an empath, I know I was ready for this, but I mean, give me a break.
Again.
At least when I'm empathing, I get paid.
This goes back to last night's show that you did with Teddy and Cindy that I made the mistake of showing up on.
Oh, no, I'm just getting started. And I don't want to hear it. I was in PJs for that show.
Yeah. And speaking of, good evening, Mr. Vanson. How are you this evening?
I'm still looking forward to tomorrow. Hello.
And Grace. And I'm going to kind of click on the hellos so as folks are tuning in. There. Yes. We thought we were troublemakers with Ted. Yes, Mr. Robert. Thank you for coming in from good old fashioned Australia there. We got everybody from up and around the world. Hello, Chantal or Chanel. I can't see already tonight. And I took my contact out. So
you can't see, you can't speak, you can't pronounce. You're making your co-host look bad by not telling her she was muted.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm having another stroke and I don't know about it again.
No, you probably just wanted to laugh at me, and I get that. I understand that.
Probably.
It's all good.
Hi, Sandy. And I'm Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
All right. Gracious, thank you for the reading last week.
Oh, you're very welcome. My pleasure.
What have we had going on? What did you have going on? Anything last week?
That was a long time ago. No, things have been pretty quiet for me. Shut up. You can't remember what you did 5 minutes ago.
I'm old. What can I say?
Give me a break. You are. I'll give you that. I am still younger than you.
All right.
No, everything's been kind of quiet. Everything's died down a little bit. Just, he's haha, my mom won't be on until later. That's right. He is falling apart, Michelle. Hi, Grandma. That's my grandma.
I know. But I've got back. Oh, no, you got back up. I don't have back up.
Yeah, he's not going to back you up. He's going to back me up now. There you go. Sandy's got your back.
Thank you, Sandy. That is Lake Ontario on that one. So, no.
What about you? You've had some.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks for me. Yeah. I was in Whitehall, New York for the Sasquatch Festival, which was amazing. Over 2,000 attendees. It was my first speaking engagement. Had a great packed audience. Thank you, Paul and Jim, that really helped me out. Paul, my main research partner, was there to make sure that I kept myself on time, and I used Jim. Yeah, I think he was there to drag me out if I really screwed it up. But we had a great time.
Come on, you're good at what you do.
So, unfortunately, I didn't get the memo. And Steve Culls and I showed up dressed exactly the same. Thank God he's bald and I'm sort of balding, so at least we could distinguish this a little bit.
Yeah, but that was awesome.
So
you guys must have called each other because there's no way you could have not
Nope,
planned at least a little bit on that.
And I brought two pairs of tack boots with me, and he shows up with the same tack boots. Don't ask me. I should have grabbed the black ones.
You guys should have seen this picture. If you haven't seen it, go on to Squatch Detective or Steve Calls. Oh my God. He even put it up there, #twinning. He was so excited.
Yeah, I haven't had time since I fit two work meetings in on either side of it, so it was just a crazy week. Saturday night, we managed to get out with Alexander Petikoff. We've had Alex on as a guest. So that's a second time I got to do some field research with him. Joe from Western New York Bigfoot Investigations he has another podcast, so we got out with him. And the funny thing is he's right down the road from me, and we've been trying to get together for a while. We end up in Whitehall. Carrick St. Laurent, who has another show. So we got out with a bunch of people. And then Sunday night I did Steve's show with him. And we did it live from the woods. So we kind of taught him how to do a live field. And that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was cool. We had something rocks thrown at us. We had some other stuff breaking around us.
You didn't fall again, did you, though? No falling this time.
I did not fall this time. Not like the week before when I took one of my coworkers out and her daughter because her daughter was writing paper on Bigfoot. And I tripped and fell, and that's nice and recorded on audio.
That's my favorite part is when you go through certain things, you always seem to get it on video, which is great because I'm usually not there to experience it with you. I mean, we got the snoring with you and was it Aaron in Florida a couple years ago?
Yeah, the naked and afraid thing. Yeah, that was 8 hours of snoring and something throwing rocks at the cabin in the middle of the woods that we had to turn actually in the middle of a swamp.
And then the other one. Yeah. And then the other one.
But I did get permission from the party that I was with for the screams and yells in the woods, so I will share that maybe a little after the break. Tonight, folks, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say it now. We're going to say it a couple of times. Please like, share, and subscribe.
You're going to want to share this one. Grandma, I'm really sorry for anything you're going to hear today, although I probably get it from you anyways.
Yes. Get yourself some Kleenex, paper towel, large towel, because you are going to laugh, you are going to cry, and you're going to have a lot of fun. Because our guests tonight, Kristie and I both follow on Instagram and listen to their podcasts, and we enjoy it. It's actually the podcast there's a bunch of folks that we support, but if we're stuck in a car together, it's one we can agree on and laugh, and we don't try to kill each other.
And I don't think these ladies understand how big that is, because our taste in music, our taste in podcasts, we are so opposite yet so like in so many ways. And the whole music radio thing just doesn't work out well.
It doesn't do well with my Jimmy Buffett or my techno. So we gotta,
I can do a little bit of Jimmy Buffett, just not. But I'll tell you, these girls pee your pants freaking funny. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you are not 18 or older, you probably should not watch the show tonight, because there's no boundaries. We want them to be just the way they usually are on their own podcast, which is freaking hysterical and very real. So I guess that's a good
wow. Now I was muted. There was like a 5-second delay on that. So
sure, we'll go with that. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to throw these off.
All right. So without further ado.
So occasional explicit language. Just go with content tonight.
It's fine. It's
just going to go with content. Just going to go with content. So why don't you do introductions, and I will bring everybody up.
I was trying to, but you interrupted me, but that's okay. I just pretended we were on an investigation.
It's my job.
All right. Welcome, Karly and Tera. The Haunted Housewives. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for having us.
Nice to have you. Oh my God.
Sorry that you need a warning.
They come with
language.
How are you ladies doing
tonight? Actually the Kristie banner. It's always up. So.
I kind of like
I
it,
don't know
though.
what you're talking about.
We come with warning labels, all of us ladies. No,
That's
we're
right.
doing good.
We are.
Doing good.
So far, so good.
It's,
All right.
I thought it was Monday. It's not. It's definitely Tuesday. I was about to say it's been a Monday. But
I almost said
it's
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
I'm like, wait, no, that's wrong too. My kids
It's
are out
my-
of school and I have no idea what day it is.
If there's one thing I have learned, there's a reason for everything we think or do. It is never wrong, right? So if you thought it was Thursday, there was a damn good reason that you thought it was Thursday. And if you thought it was Monday, I don't know why anyone would want to think it's Monday, but hey, whatever.
It's my Friday, so I don't care. So
Well, there you go.
so I'm all confused. So
Oh goodness. All right. Well, welcome to the show. We're really excited to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right. Why don't you each tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you do? Because your podcast has so many different elements.
Yes,
and you
it
bring
does.
so much to the table. I mean, it's hysterical, but you really do practice your gifts. You are gifted and you do all, each your individuals, and then you bring that together and you just explode. So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourselves and what you do, and we'll go from there.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Carly.
Okay. Hi,
We'll let
I'm
you pick it
Carly. I am a tarot reader, wannabe ghost hunter. I've been on ghost hunts, but I don't do a ton of that on my own. And through tarot, I practice mediumship. So when I do go on ghost hunts, I read the cards on location. And sometimes we do them during EVP sessions, which is always fun, always exciting. And I'm a mom, and you'll probably hear my dog. His name is Gunner. At some point, he's going to start barking.
We're a very dog-friendly show here. Yeah. That's great. Oh my goodness. And how about you, Tera?
Well, I work in the Akashic Records, and I'm also a spirit tour guide. So I will introduce you. I don't even know what to call it. So that's what I go with. I introduce you and I work with your spirit guides to kind of help you bridge the gap between the living world and the spiritual world, and kind of fuse them together and help you navigate through that. I just totally lost my train of thought. But
I told you, these are
I'm
my
in there
people right
all
here.
the time. I'm not in this world half the time anyways. But yeah, so that's what I do. So I work within the Akashic Records and also with each individual spirit guide. So
I think that's
and I'm a mom
that's
too, and you're going to
fascinating.
see children probably walking behind me at some point because they don't know how to stay put.
Trust me, I get it. I get it. Absolutely. So how did you two ladies meet?
I stalked her on Instagram.
That is true.
Actually, she came up.
Oh, okay.
Well, kind of. She came up on like my suggested list. You know how you see the little thing, the little icons, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute little logo." Clicked on it, and she had all of her chalkboards and all of her readings, and I was like, oh, "These are so cool!" Heart, 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 heart. Because I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." So I probably totally looked like a stalker, but I would interact with her. With her posts or send her something. I'm like, hey, I saw you post something and I sent you this, and she would respond. And then
Cool.
I don't know what happened. We just kind of ended up talking and becoming friends.
Tara won I did a giveaway for a reading. And Tara
that's
won
right.
one of them.
Yes.
That's
So,
awesome.
and then we FaceTimed and I was like, ooh, you can see me. What do I do here? No, we just started talking and we never stopped.
That's awesome. I mean, you guys seemed like you've known each other for your whole lives.
No.
It feels like it. Yeah.
We get a lot.
absolutely.
We've actually only known like less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe about a year now. I can't remember when we
Wait,
started.
are you being
talking.
serious? Really? Like
Yeah.
a year?
No, I'm totally serious.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm convinced that we had to have had like a past life or something together
For
because
sure.
I don't make connections like that. Which is like,
Mhm.
we're like, oh, great. We're best friends now.
Seriously.
Hi, how are you?
Exactly. Hi.
Oh, that's
You're my best friend
awesome.
now.
Just
Wow. So do you live next to each other? Sorry, Mike's really not going to get a word in edgewise.
No.
today.
No,
just
I'm
gonna
going to sit here. I'm going to push buttons. I'm gonna hide behind the glow stick.
You get your fair share of shows where you do a lot of the talking, so I don't want to hear it. Okay.
It's not a Bigfoot show. This is guides. This isn't. Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael. I know you have a question.
No. Go
I'll
ahead.
share.
No, because you are already thinking my question, so I'm gonna let you go.
No, we don't live near each other. She's actually in Florida and I'm in Arizona.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I'm moving to Texas.
There's
soon.
my dog. Sorry.
We'll be closer. We're gonna go ghost hunting together once I'm in Texas. We'll be closer. So
Yes.
it's gonna.
So it's a
happen.
long distance friendship.
Yeah,
It's
we've
a
never
long
met in
distance
person.
relationship here.
Wow. Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes it's the best when you're sick of them. You don't have to deal with them.
Exactly. Oh.
That's how I kind of, it's really, it works out. Wait a minute. Am I pointing the right? There we go.
Now you're going the right way.
Here, I'll fix the problem for you. Is that better?
Yeah.
No, I just figured it out. Go ahead, Michael. You ask some questions.
Ask us. The weirder, the better.
There you go.
It's one thing, and it is weird how the universe kind of all brings us all together, because that's what happened with me, is that you guys were doing a live stream one day where you're both on, and it came into my suggested feeds, and I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start. And then I started sending Kristie stuff. I'm like, you gotta watch this. I don't know what's going on. I'm like watching a train wreck, but this is awesome, and I'm gonna keep watching more. And it's like, where's my? And I'm like, there's got to be. Okay.
I think you came in on when we were reading, and some people were talking about koalas. I think that was the one you were in on. Oh my god!
Koalas?
I've never laughed so hard in my life.
No, it's like the actual. It's a deck I have. I don't have it with me, but the whole deck is incredibly inappropriate. Like, to the extent that my 10-year-old son, who that's all he ever talks about, is like, Mom, I hate that deck. It's so embarrassing. I grossed out the 10-year-old.
Hey, kudos, because that is hard to do.
It is hard to do.
I mean, when you're talking about sex, it's easy to gross them out, right? I mean, it doesn't take much. So that's good. Good. See this? Remember that feeling right there.
Yeah. Well, recently he's been
gross.
up in his game.
Yeah.
And weirding her out.
We've
So
had some good questions recently.
yeah, we're at the
got
stage
real
where we
awkward
have
in my
to
household.
ask now. Yeah, they come with warnings. Is this a sex question? Because we have to get our minds around what's about to come out of their mouth. We have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It doesn't get better as they get older either.
All jokes now.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god, how funny!
Sometimes my adult kids are worse than my 14-year-old. So I just because they know exactly what they're talking about, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
What
exactly?
Damn it.
I thought it was very interesting, though, how you guys were doing that show. I mean, you had the one deck going that was just way, and I think I got two shows that I caught that were the decks were way out of left field.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Tera's got that, and I'm like, this is just like us. I sit here like, and then it was like, okay, gotta watch this.
Yeah, that was a really fun combination because my deck was completely ridiculous and Tera's was more serious. And but they paired out good, and some of them like the decks kind of almost repeated the same message in very different ways, different ways. But
right. Yeah, which was pretty funny.
That's like extra validation then.
I know.
You know?
And then some of the commentary that was coming through from the people who were on the live with us was absolutely ridiculous. And it made for a really good time. They have good senses of humor. So
that's good.
Super fun.
You seem to have a following, a nice following. And I can see why. You guys should take your comedy act on the show. Like seriously. Or show on the road, whatever.
We'd love to.
I can't talk today either. Mike's starting
You've been hanging around.
That was me all last episode. No, we really do want to do that. We'd love to be able to be in a position where we could do live podcast shows or take people ghost hunting with us and be just like we are on the show, but
ridiculous
equipment.
Well, see, when that happens and you have equipment to bring with you, you get a mic.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get a mic.
Absolutely.
Get a mic. Keep us in line.
Yes, you. When he remembers to get it, and when he forgets it, his wife chucks it at his head. It's actually fantastic to watch. But we were doing a show one time, and he's like, the puck, oh my God, where's the puck? And all of a sudden you see this thing go, boom. She whipped it from
That's why it's right here. I have the house internet, but this is always the backup. Backup laptop, backup tablet.
So you get a mic to lug all this stuff and to carry all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That you need.
I know.
We need that.
Oh God, I'll tell you.
Well, I'm glad we could entertain you because the lives for us are always like, oh God, what if we fuck up? Like, what if we read something wrong? What if somebody knows? And then they're like, you are wrong. How dare you interpret it like that?
Oh my gosh, how funny.
like,
hey, you know what though? In all seriousness, it is what it is. You interpret the best you can, right?
Yeah.
You discern it the best you can. And you know what? You deliver the messages. And usually the people,
That's
not always, but usually the people who have that reaction are the ones that needed to hear it the most. They just didn't look at it from that perspective, which is why they're getting that message.
Which is why.
So they can take that comment and no, I'm kidding.
No,
I have the utmost respect. But I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Folks, we're not doing any readings at the moment. So for those that tuned in, we do have a couple of reading shows coming up soon.
Yes,
so
we do.
I'm getting some. Where am I getting the feedback?
I believe it's next week. I'll double check.
Mike?
Or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
My bad. Yes, 2 weeks.
So
We'll talk
what
about
made
that
you decide that you were going to do a podcast?
We had both talked about it with other people and with ourselves. And with ourselves. That didn't make any sense. And we both talked about it.
I understood it perfectly. I mean,
see, there we go. I found a ghost, a mystery ghost, on one of the ghost hunts that we were at, or that I was at, sorry, and I got obsessed with her. And I was doing readings to figure out more about her. And so I do these readings and I would send them to Tera. And she was like, well, hey, I don't know if this helps, but here's this information. And she had told me that this woman, her name was Mary Lily. We didn't know that at the time, but Tera told me that she was a second wife. And either that night or the next night, I went to a ghost hunt and I asked that question there and we had incredible results. But after that, I was like, hey, we're really good at this. We're really good at doing this together. Solve some ghost mysteries.
Proposed to me.
Yeah, I proposed to her. I was like, so, hey, you want to do this with me?
Will you be my podcast partner?
Will you podcast with me?
Hey, that's so much nicer. I mean, I with Mike and I just scared the crap out of him, took him totally off guard one night, sent him running across the room, and then said, hey, we're I think this will work. This will be good.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Do it.
There's a reason I run away from mediums and psychics and reinforced with a room full that night.
Yep. Here.
Here you are again.
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's awesome though. So
yeah, it's been fun. I don't think I could have ever thought of a better partner. She really is complimentary and she's so good at what she does. So it's super fun.
That's awesome.
Her research skills.
I'm just a big nerd.
You know what? I have to tell you, very few people can get my attention with history and with, just, I don't, because maybe because I'm so used to not wanting to know anything and being able to get it myself and validate it later.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's a huge history buff nut. He
love
loves all that stuff, the research, everything. I mean, it takes a lot to get my attention, probably because I can't always keep my attention the way I'd like to. But really, I love the way you incorporate that. I really do. We have another friend, Sheila, who does that too, who runs some places that we go to investigate. She is phenomenal at it. I can sit and listen to her talk about the history of a place all day and not get tired and learn and actually remember what she's doing.
I think that's
for a
the
little
fun
while.
of it. Yeah, that's the fun of it for me because I'm like, oh, well, you've tell the story because you're a really good storyteller and I'll just see what I can pick up, but don't tell me anything. Let's just see, and so it really makes for an interesting night because we're like, ooh, this is coming in. Let's pull some cards or let's play with it or let's see what they say. And it kind of validates it. So it is pretty fun. We weren't sure how it was going to translate because, we're you're just listening to us pull cards and talk about it. So we have to be more mindful of how we describe things.
Right.
But I think it's okay.
I think
it works out okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
In the side commentary, when you pull those cards, you know, it's awesome. You know, and again, the Mary Lily one was the first episode that Kristie, you know, was in the car. You know, we're listening. We're like, what was that? And where did that just, you know, because you're there with a history and you're like, this guy's just a jackass, and you're like, where the hell did that come out of a ghost investigation? And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is, you know, and I'm like, that's what we need in the field with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
You just you put these facts out there, but then all of a sudden you're making this comment, and you're like, what? Did I hear that?
You did hear it. I am.
And then, but like, you guys don't miss a beat. You're right on it together, and it flows so naturally. You don't even realize you heard it, and you're laughing.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
We take a lot of sidebars, but I think we come back and it's irritating. We're like, okay, all right, we've gone far enough. Back around.
Originally, yeah,
it definitely is working for you.
We have to entertain ourselves, otherwise we'll get bored too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm a little curious, Tera, about how you became involved with working in the Akashic Records or with them, because that's pretty involved. It is. And for those of you who don't know what the Akashic Records are, it's a pretty big deal. It's very, you have to really like earn that. And
that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I have a family member, I won't say who, well, I wouldn't name her anyway, but who has been working on that for quite a while, and she's able to now work with that. And it took her a long time, like you. It for me, it hasn't even crossed my mind. So clearly, I'm not supposed to do it. But it's like, you know, like
anybody can do it. Don't limit yourself.
No, for sure. But the Akashic Records are so important. They are, you know, your soul's history. Yes. And then their history's history, and then there's history's history. So
yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that's really, I mean, to me, I think that's amazing.
It is.
Or the slow kid in the corner that doesn't know what you're talking about. It's pretty
cool. So I'll break it down for you. So the Akashic Records are basically like a database. So like she was saying, so there's a record of everything. You have a record. It's a record of your soul, basically. So from the beginning of your creation to what will be your final one, if you choose that. Your home has a record. Trees have a record. Your cat has a record. Everything has a record. If it's created, it's got a record. So your business has a record too. So you could get in, like we go into our records and ask business related questions and things like that. And they give us advice, and it's actually pretty helpful. But I use it to help people kind of, like I said, navigate their path a little bit. Because the questions that I get asked a lot is, what am I doing? Where am I going? Am I doing the right things? You know, all the questions that we always think, you know. And so what the records help you do is they help you understand that there are no wrong choices. You can't fuck it up. You can't do it wrong. You are here to learn, and that's the best part. And so every choice you make is always the right one. It's always the right one for where you are. And they just kind of help guide you along and give you suggestions. And, you know, a lot of times the Akashic Records will be paired with past life work, which is pretty cool. And so I get a lot of clients that want to know about past lives, which is absolutely fucking fascinating because I'm nosy as hell and I want to know what's in there. So I like to know what's going on.
Whatever do you mean?
I'm like, tell me all the things. Show me everything. And so it's kind of my way of being a nosy Nelly, you know, but in a really, really cool way.
Right.
And they only give me the information I need and what's relevant. So I say that in jest, but really, if you ask about past lives, they'll ask you why you want to know about it. What is it about that you want to know? Is there something coming up? So they kind of lead the questioning. And if it's not important, they'll just be like, you know what? That's not important right now. Here's where you need to be focusing. So they kind of tell you what you need, and they give you what you need in a very interesting way. So basically, towards the end of sessions, you've already answered your own questions. They hand it back to you a lot of times. And so we spend a lot of time kind of unraveling all the things, and a lot of times when past lives are concerned, you bring a lot of that shit with you. And it's just like each time you're learning it again in a different way. It's presenting in a different way. And so you're like, oh, well, that explains a lot. I get it now. So how can I work around this? Or why am I like this? So if you have like irrational fears or you do these weird things and you're like, I don't know why I am like this. We're like, okay, cool. Let's go back. Let's take a look at it and see how we can fix it or how it can help you. It doesn't have to be a burden. But yeah, they're really, really cool. And because they're a part of you, they kind of balance you out with where you're weaker. So like, say, for example, I'm a really soft and sensitive person. Well, my record keepers would be a little tougher on me.
Sorry, but your partner over there just totally was like, oh.
So they would be a little tougher on you because they need to balance you out. They want to help you. And so like Carly's is like, listen, you need to get thicker skin.
Yep. Multiple times.
Sorry, but we're going to keep giving you this so that you can learn. Sorry, not sorry. Let's go.
Right.
But they do it in a really loving way. Right. But it does sometimes, like when I first got into it, I did feel like it was very overwhelming because the energy is different. So you as a medium, you know what that's like to work with spirit. They're kind of in a different energy frequency, but when you work in the records, you got to take the elevator a little further up because you're on a completely different energy space. And so I kind of attune it to like going to the mall. You know how you like go second floor, dining ware, third floor, and you just keep going up the elevator. But when I first got there, it was very overwhelming because I wasn't really sure what to expect. And the Akasha are very vast because they're ancient. They're the creators of all things. So if you believe in, a higher power, they're kind of like the HR department, I guess is how they're explaining it to me. It's like they're HR. So they take the orders and then they bring it down. And so it goes to your angels and your guides and your spirit team that you work with. So they're kind of just, they encompass a lot.
I'm glad you said that.
I saw somebody said they.
Sandy was wondering who they.
Because I was going to ask you to clarify that too.
Yeah. Who is they? They is, it can be I use it kind of interchangeably. So when I say they, I'm referring to my spirit guide or my spirit team, which consists of teachers, masters, loved ones, which can be family members, anybody that comes forward to help me do whatever it is I need to do. They could be ascended masters. It could be anybody really, but they come in when I need them, and I call them board meetings. Most of the time I work with my spirit guide, but when the other ones step in, it becomes they.
Right.
So
I'm glad you clarified that because I wasn't sure. Yeah. I figured, for me, working with and I call them my team as well, because I have my main 4 spirit guides, and then I always refer to my dental background. So I have my 4 general dentists, and then I have my specialists that come in and go as I need them. And then because my team is also made up of the higher divine, actually somebody told me I have Mary Magdalene, I have Jesus,
those would be your ascended masters.
Those are my ascended. And but then I also have my family. So I'm glad you explained that. And it's funny because works differently for all of us. So to hear somebody else explain it exactly the way I work and the way it works for me was pretty nice, because it's the first time that's actually happened. But I was curious because when you say they, so the Akashic Records, I guess I never really thought about it. Are they guarded by angels? Are they not guarded at all? Is it something that only can you explain a little bit? They don't need
guarding because they are magnanimous. Okay. So like I was saying, they're kind of the HR department. So they have hierarchy. So there's source, and then there's them. and then everybody below. So it's just kind of like a chain of command. So they are kind of the top dogs. And that's why it takes, at least that's how I've been shown. I don't know if that's right because nobody really knows, but that's kind of
it's wrong if that's the way it works for you, right?
Yeah, that's kind of
it
how they've explained it.
Else, but yeah,
that's how they've explained it. Because I'm like, what exactly? Where am I? I'm like, tell me all the things. What do I need to know? And so that's how they work. So any information that like our spirit team or our spirit guides get, it comes from them directly.
Awesome.
So
is there some sort of, like star chart or something that you're using as a reference guide, or these are just
this is what
message coming? This is coming direct download. It's
direct from the source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, Tim says awesome. That's where you get the kick in the ass.
Right.
And confirm.
Leave that to the east side of the state. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're really, really awesome. But it does take a little time to get used to them because it is such a big energy differential. And so sometimes I'll work with clients and we'll start with the records first, and then I'll come down and work with spirit and talk to their family and loved ones and things like that. And then I can exit because it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot of energy to work with. And so it does take some time to get used to it. But I'll tell you what, and this is just my own personal experience, but had I not worked on my mediumship first, I probably would not have accelerated probably as fast as I feel I did, because I wouldn't have understood the energy and how to sit in it properly. Sure. So I think that was helpful for me, but
I can imagine
mediumship didn't feel right. I could never say it. I could never say, yeah, I'm a spirit medium. It
really?
And even now I'm like, nope, I can't do it. I could never say it. I don't know. And I think it's because it's not my path to title myself like that. So I don't know. I just have a really hard time with that.
Right. No, I totally get it. I know lots of people like that. Yeah. No,
I just like to work with. I just like to work within the records. And I think too, it's because they take the pressure off, and that's what they told me. Because I'm like, I don't want to get this wrong. That was a big thing for me, and they were like, it's not up to you. You just deliver the message. Right. You don't have to try to interpret it. You don't have to try to make sense of it. You just deliver it. And I'm like, oh, perfect. Yeah. I don't have to try to entertain. I don't have to try to explain anything. I can just say, this is how it's coming through. Take it as you will. It's for you. And, most of the time people are like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, even though it sounds like fucking nonsense to me.
Yeah, nothing's supposed to make sense to us,
this is making sense to you.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I find sometimes even for myself, and maybe you girls can feel this too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I walk away very frustrated from I deliver, I did my job, I did what I was supposed to do, but you might not be getting a response, which we know you can't count on.
Yeah.
You just kind of feel frustrated. Like, no, I totally did not do what I should have.
Yeah.
It could have been better. And
so much pressure.
But those are the ones where I usually get the feedback and say, that was so profound for me.
That was,
Do you experience that too? And it's like a huge weight. It's like, I'm being tested. Like, here you go. Haha. You need to remember, like, you can't worry about that. You have to just do what you need to do and trust that And,
It was just such and I think that's what it is too, is it's such a heavy weight and a responsibility that I don't take lightly. So having clients sad and upset and I want to do so good, and they're like not sure, but they are. And so they're kind of closed off and I'm kind of closed off, and we're like, come on, let's just meet each other halfway.
Yep.
And, we've got their family just sitting there like, I don't know what to tell you. And you're like, they're not stepping forward. So that means that we have to work on you today. So what can we do for you today? And I would leave there so upset sometimes, and I'm like, man, I just sucked it today. But that's kind of why I was like, how can I transition and still do this and feel good and be helpful in a completely different capacity? Like, how can I use this? And then the records just kind of showed up. I don't know how it happened. I think I saw something somewhere and then I got emails about it and then it started showing up and I was like, what is this? This is perfect. I love this. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Telling you what your next step was, and they were inviting you to take it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think that's why I was having a hard time saying it, because it was a stepping stone rather than a stopping point. So I was like, okay, I see you. I'm onto you.
Love it.
Kristie skipped her main question she usually asks when it comes to this. When did you both realize that you had your gifts?
Oh, that's a good one. Go ahead, Karly.
Yeah, within the last 3 years for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Just hit the ground running.
Okay. So, looking back on your life, can you? Sorry, Michael, were you gonna?
No, go for it.
You just got to be.
No, I'm gonna be quiet back here and drink my grapefruit juice.
It's nice. It's nice to see that we're just still in sync, though. Like, you know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm thinking.
All of the questions,
right? But your whole life, though, looking back, can you?
I can. Yeah. So I started putting the pieces together. I had been reading tarot for like 2 years at that point, and I slipped in milk and broke my foot. I tore all the muscles on the top, and I found out later that it was also fractured. So it was pretty bad. And it was end of September, beginning of October. So actually right around this time. And I was like, well, I can't walk. And what am I going to do? Watched a lot of Bigfoot hunting shows. And I also watched a lot of ghost hunting shows. And I was watching those and I was like, wait a second. Why are you describing my life to me right now? Because I don't remember which show it was, but they talk about sometimes like that feeling of being watched. And I was like, you mean to say my entire life? It's like, even when I moved into this house, I have a loft area outside of my bedroom, and there's a couch, and I was home alone. And this is before I read tarot and any of that. So I was home alone, and I was loving it because I'm a mom. I treasure alone time. And I'm sitting there. I had like a blanket wrapped around me. And I felt so strongly that someone was standing behind me that I kept like turning and looking. And I got so freaked out that I moved spots. So my back was against a wall. I was like, trying to come up on me. And so I was thinking about all those experiences. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Has it been ghosts this entire time? I'm over here just thinking, I do have bad anxiety, like all the time, except this specifically isn't me for once. This is an actual thing. And once I started recognizing it and learning to feel the differences and like, okay, I can recognize this type of energy now. It took a lot of the fear away. So I do still get startled every once in a while. But looking back, I can't say 100% because that was not part of my, we didn't really talk about ghosts. It was like, something you saw on TV and that was it. And so like, I know that I've had the feeling of being watched and things like that my whole life, but I didn't put the pieces together until I broke my foot. So maybe it was a love push. Like, hey, guess what?
There you go. You got to have the time to take care of yourself and do for yourself. I'm so glad that you whole walking, having people behind you because for most of the show so far, I keep seeing a woman walk from what would be my your left to right, and then she looks and then she walks back.
No.
So behind you.
Oh, great.
No, but it's just like I want to know you. I want you to know I'm here, and that's it.
Hello.
So
how are you?
Nothing creepy, nothing whatever. No,
well, actually, that makes a lot of sense, both parts, because oh,
thank God. See,
there's lots of things, but I do daily tarot readings or oracle cards or all that. And a major theme in my readings lately has been ancestors. And I was like, what do you want with me? What do you want? Leave me for right now, okay?
Wow.
I started talking to them today. It'll be fine. We're going to get through this. But so kind of amusing that there is a mystery woman behind me. But the other thing that happened is that I was texting Tera earlier and I was like, my guide is like super present right now. Like, like way more present than normal. I was like, why is that? And what I mean by that for people listening is when you practice mediumship or you get used to spirit in any form, you can feel them. And so my right side of my body, if my guide is around, I can feel it like in the back of my arm, which is weird, but it's like he's standing back there.
Right.
So, yeah. That's
I want to know who she is.
Honestly, I feel like she is. It's funny because at first I felt like she belonged with the house or belonged with the environment. I'll say more so, not house, environment. Environment can be a very broad term. And she's she's there to guide you. I wouldn't call her an official guide. I think she's there for a specific reason right now.
Must be the one yelling at me through the cards.
Oh, there you go. She literally, she didn't do anything else. She just wanted her presence to be known. She exactly how I described it is exactly what I saw. And
that is funny.
So there you go.
That is funny because when I got I use the Memento Mori deck a lot. It's an oracle deck. And I recently just got the expansion set. And I talked about this a little bit in our last episode, but I was getting the same message over and over and over again. And it was driving me insane. Like the same cards. Right. I was so annoyed. I mixed in the new deck and the energy immediately changed. And the reading was completely different, which was great. Except every once in a while it was like half of that energy and half of another energy. And I was like, what are we, this is two conversations. What are we doing here? Can we separate this?
I wonder if that's what happened with the dream interpretation that we did the other day. That makes sense.
Tell us about that. Well, if you want, tell us.
It does make sense.
We did
exactly what we were saying, what I was saying, where we kept getting interrupted. Go on, Tera.
I was just going to say we did a dream interpretation because we did the dream episode. And one of our friends had said, oh man, I missed the boat on that one. And she sent us her dream about, she had a doll and then she was having some experiences with this doll. And so we were pulling cards, but we kept getting a woman and then we kept getting a man and we weren't sure what was happening. Was it the doll? Was it this? We couldn't figure it out. So I wonder if the woman.
It's 2021.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 2021. Really? That couldn't have been her.
Oh, no.
So I wonder.
I couldn't use the "Did you cry over spilt milk" thing, so I had to stick something in somewhere.
I didn't cry. I held my tears in. Just kidding. I did. I
would have cried. Trust me,
I would have cried a lot.
I didn't cry at the moment. I just held my foot and I was like, nobody touch me. Everyone's like, I cried like 3 days later. I was like, this really hurts.
You lasted 3 days. Oh my God.
Yeah. And urgent care didn't see the fracture at first. So they were just like, you're good. So I waited a week and a half until I could get to the doctor. I sat in this chair downstairs and rolled myself around. It was so swollen. It was really bad.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh my God.
All the tears.
All the tears.
Gosh. Oh.
Nope.
Yep. You have something to say, Michael.
Wear shoes. That's the lesson here.
Well, I already heard what the lesson is, and it's the same lesson I get every time I end up bedridden. Lots of Bigfoot shows.
So go ahead, Michael. All right, this is a good time for a break if you don't have anything, because I have more questions, so we can take.
I always have. Okay, you want a quick break?
Yeah,
okay, folks. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We're gonna do a quick break, and so grab something to drink, run to the bathroom, come on and join us in a second. So away we go.
WLFE-DB.com, where you can find vodcast shows, podcasts, and more like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Paratalk Radio, Just Cindy, and more. So go check out WLFE-DB.com, where talk radio is a whole lot better. Our shows are your shows, and that there makes for a great talk radio.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area at 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Ted Van Son Jr. is a seasoned investigator and well-versed in the ways of paranormal investigation. He is now ready to share his ideas and unique approach with all of you. Flashlight, recorder, and comfortable shoes. Hit the ground running as you follow this easy step-by-step guide to a fun and thorough paranormal investigation, perfect for first-time and lightly seasoned investigators. Think outside the paranormal box. Learn all about the technology and techniques used back in the early days of paranormal investigation. You can find these valuable resources online at Goodreads, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Amazon. Get yours today.
Hi, I'm Jenna Grover. In a world of fashion, we get lost in the cost. Everyone wants that special piece of quality jewelry, but they can't afford it. Not on my watch. I sell handmade quality jewelry for a fraction of the price, and that includes jewelry made of sea glass, natural stone, crystal beads, glass beads, Bigfoot jewelry, and more. If you don't see what you want, email me, because I make custom jewelry too. Check out my website at gbythesea.com. Also, you can email me at jewelry@gbythesea.com.
You're listening to WLFE DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
I did it. Hi, guys, and welcome back to Where's My Sage? I'm Mike, Kristie London, and we have Tera and Karly here from Haunted Housewives podcast. And, of course, I'm surrounded by tonight with folks that can speak to folks that aren't with us. So we're going to let them...
Like they're at Tops or Wegmans?
Yeah. They're not voices in my head today.
You have lots of voices in your head.
Yeah.
Every day.
So we've got Karly's background on how she got in this. Do we finish that up? Tera, how did you get into this craziness?
I think I'm kind of similar to Karly in the way that I always kind of knew something was going on, but I wasn't allowed to talk about it either. We didn't talk about that stuff. It was non-existent. It was demons. It was angels or demons, and we didn't talk about it. And so I was like, okay, cool. But my grandmother always, she would receive messages. She would do a lot of automatic writing. So it was kind of something I knew, but I just didn't know what, And then as I got older, my intuition got really good. And I was like, but that's a trauma response also.
It is.
All the trauma. But it came in handy. But I think I just kind of worked into it really. And then over the last couple of years, I would say probably the last 5 years, I really stepped into it. I was like, okay, this is fucking cool. Sorry, banner. I need the banner.
Yeah, we got it. We warned everybody at the beginning. We're on top of a new hour. So
I need a banner. I have a word. I have to say a bad word. Yeah, it was just.
We have a safe word. No, we have occasional language. This is an adult show tonight, guys. We're going with that.
Been really good. Like this has been really tame.
Yeah, you warned me all day that you were going to go off the rails, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
We're trying to behave ourselves like ladies. Just kidding.
You're a lady.
Loosely, lady. But yeah, it was just, I was like something, and I told my husband, I'm like, something is fucking happening. I don't know what it is, but I feel really called to investigate this, and I'm doing it. And he's like, okay, do you need to seek psychiatric evaluation? Because he's a physician. And so I'm like, I'm hearing things. There's fucking shit happening. And he's like, what? And I was like, there's people talking all the time. And he's like, well, you're too old for schizophrenia. So I'm like, thanks for that. But also, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I have a family history and I'm freaking out right now because I've got it in my family. But it was kind of a joke. But at the same time, like, I don't know what's happening, but this is really important. And I feel like I'm kind of shifting into a different space. And I had a lot of things going on. And I was like, okay, I'm just going with this. So I don't know what you're doing, but I'm here, I'm open. And then it just was like the open sign came on. It was like, oh shit. Crazy? Wow, I plugged in. Like, okay, that's a lot, but super cool.
Never heard it as the open sign is there, but okay.
Like Mervin's. Remember Mervin's? Open. They were just waiting.
Glitches. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Awesome.
just happened. I was ready.
When did you decide, hey, I'm going to share this with the world?
Still not there. No.
What? Wait a minute. Did you say still not there?
I have a really hard time with it. I know.
Hi.
I know. Hi. Hello. It still makes me uncomfortable.
To 90 million countries when we're done, and we have how many viewers?
Well,
yeah, I mean we're
not public or
Australia in the States. I mean, we haven't hit we got England going. We don't have Netherlands yet tonight that I've seen.
I think it's such a I feel like it's such a sensitive topic and it's such a controversial one that it's hard to for me personally to be like, yeah, sup, I talk to dead people. And it's rad.
Well, that was kind of seductive the way you said that.
People are like, I am sorry.
So which one were you trying to introduce yourself to?
Yeah. Well, we had just moved here last year and this was my father-in-law's house and he passed away. So we took over the house. But the neighbors across the street were like trying to get to know us, and she's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, where do I begin? And so I've been getting used to saying it, more and more, but it's it is something when I say that I work with people's spirit guides and I work in the Akashic Records and they're like, oh, okay. Deer in the headlights. Look, I'm like, oh yeah, I read tarot cards too. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay.
As they're texting, and discreetly texting their neighbors, she's fucking crazy.
And I just have to get used to it. I'm not going to be for everybody and that's okay, but I have to get used to saying it. So it's that I think it's just, I don't know. I have to get used to it. I have to get used to it. Like it's okay for us in this community, because we do talk about paranormal things and it's easier to be out and open, and this is what we do and it's so fun, but talking to normal people who aren't in that and they're not in that realm of thought, they're like,
could you explain what a normal person is, please? Because
people who don't deal with
the guy that chases Bigfoot.
Yeah, it is different. It's a different, it's a lot. So I'm like,
I know. You'll get past that. You're a rookie, I guess. I thought you were way past. No, I'm kidding. You'll get used to it. One day you'll just just adopt the I don't give a shit.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Whatever,
I think sometimes it's the imposter syndrome that creeps in and they're like, no,
sit down too.
Come up against a lot of opposition about it or resistance from people?
I do.
Either of you can answer that because really?
Well, no, hardly anybody in my real life actually knows what I do. So it's just like a fun surprise when people find out. I'm like, yep, that's me. One of my brothers recently found my tarot page and he was like, he texted me. He's like,
Your brother?
Screenshot. My brother. My brother.
Tell your brother.
I haven't told anybody in my family. And it's it's sort of for a reason.
That's
But
why you
anyway,
block them ahead of time.
just block them ahead of time. My brother texted me and he's like, why didn't you tell me about this? And I was like, I don't know. I started it. I didn't really think it was going to be a thing. And then, it kind of turned into a thing. And then I was like, I got a podcast too.
By the way, I have like thousands of followers. No,
we're not doing too bad. By the way,
no, you're really not.
Yeah, he was.
He tried to downplay it
the next night. Like he listened to the podcast and he was like, "You're kind of like internet famous," and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Don't say that." Yeah, so I don't really tell people. I don't know.
Really?
It's religious trauma.
It's religious trauma.
Really?
I joke about that, but that is the root reason. I was raised Mormon.
Oh, okay.
And until just like a few years ago. And so for me, I already really rocked the boat when I left Mormonism. I have some less active like family members who are still members, but they don't go to church anymore. And I was like, hey guys, just so you know, I'm done. And it has still like, it's been years and my family still kind of struggles with it. So it's more a case of I really love what I do and I feel really confident within this. I just don't want to introduce it. I mean, it's going to get out there. I'm out there quite a bit. So,
I honestly am 100,000% impressed, aren't you, Mike, that they have been able to take off in such a short period of time. And you can still keep it hidden from your family. I'm like, what the like, are you kidding me? Your own siblings who could actually be gifted just like you. Okay.
My own siblings,
I can't, when I was public, I have people from my past who didn't know I could do what I do, but I wasn't, I still took into my 20s to learn and really figure it out myself. And then it wasn't until my 30s that I came out in the public. So it's kind of like, okay, I get the people from my past who are like, oh my God, we had no idea. But everyone else?
Like, and see, I got made fun of.
It's a lot of extra work.
I got made fun of a lot. For that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's part of the reason why I try to just keep it to myself. Like I don't speak to my dad because he was like, you're going to hell. And so I was like, thanks. And so he was very mean about it and very mocking about it. And this is something that's so special and so important to me. And when he did that, and he just belittled me. And I was like, nope, we're done. We're not going to tell anybody. And then I had friends from my past that were like, Tera, I didn't know you did this. I'm like, yeah, you did. And you made fun of me about it. Oh, you're just being a weirdo. Don't say that kind of stuff. Or they would make a joke out of it. And they're like, oh, we didn't know it was real. I'm like, it's very real. So I've kind of always kept it. And I think that's why it's hard for me to, be open about it with other people. I'm like, oh, they're going to judge me. Everybody always does. But here's easier.
No, you're right. It is much easier to come out and actually deal with strangers sometimes or people you don't really know. Rather than your own family. I was very blessed. I have not been treated that way. Although I look back and go, okay, all the issues I had, especially being an empathic child. Where the hell were you people in the family who saw me every weekend because we're Italian and we were always together? I know, right? Harbor any ill feelings. How did you not recognize these signs? Like I even have certain people in my family now where I'm recognizing some in the younger people going, I need to keep an eye on them. I need to kind of give them advice that no one else is going to give when it's tough because they're going to connect with it even if they don't get it yet. So I know it's we come from such different backgrounds and it's so that's right, Tim. That's right. Be proud. Because we keep saying this is what we do, but honestly, it's not what we do. We didn't go to school for this. We didn't choose this profession. It's not something we really had a say in. It is truly who we are.
Yeah.
It is us.
And I love it.
Yeah.
It's something we love. And Karly's so good at it. And I think we enjoy it because it really does. And, it really connects you into yourself, too. You have to be really confident in yourself and the messages that are coming through and really sit in your own personal power that you have to. So when you have, the people you love and care about kind of push against that. You're like, oh, that's shitty.
You're absolutely
You know,
right. It goes
it's
for
like,
everything
oh,
else in
man.
your life too, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My husband's pretty supportive. He's the fact guy. So he likes to kind of be like, prove it to me. I'm like,
Right.
okay.
Well, he's a scientist,
will.
right?
I'm like, let me
Aim
tell you some
on.
things. Yeah.
I
And
like a
had him
challenge.
like,
You got it.
okay. He was funny about it though, because I'm like, how come you never asked me? Oh, I remember one day he was like, you know, you have this whole world of friends and things that you do, and I don't know about any of it. I go, well, you never ask. How come you never ask me? And he's like, honestly, Tara, I think it's because it kind of scares me. And I was like, that's fair.
At least he can say that. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Because
like,
that's
what
exactly
scares
I think
you
what a
about
lot of
it?
us go through.
Yep.
You know, with
Yeah.
their spouses and significant others and everyone's frozen. Can you guys
No.
I heard you until right now, and now you're
Yeah.
frozen.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
you're back.
There you are.
Yep,
Did you
you're
lose
back.
me?
You're
Yeah,
frozen.
I was just in the middle of saying you guys all froze, and then I got lost. So I was like,
Oh,
It
saw
was my
that.
chance to get a word in, and I lost it.
all right, I'm going to shut up. Go ahead. Ask your question.
No, I was going to say, for Karly,
Uh-huh.
let your family really look to where that religion comes from and look at that geographic neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because the very interesting thing about that neighborhood, because it's only about 35 minutes from me, is you have the religion.
Yep.
And 5 miles down the road, you have the birthplace of spiritualism in the U.S. All within 5 miles. Two different towns sitting right on each other. Whole crazy intergalactic spiritual whatever. So it's something. Have them take a look at the geographic area and see what's. It's weird.
Such a boy.
Yeah. You know, I've driven through the area.
Lines? No.
There are lots of ley lines. There's a lot of radioactivity. There's a lot of paranormal activity. You know, Kristie's been up to do some ghost hunting up in that area.
Really?
Done some other events through there. But the whole
neat.
area has a lot of interesting.
Wait, which area are you talking about?
I'm the area of Palmyra and Macedon. So
New York.
In New York. So it's only 35 minutes from where I'm at and an hour from where Kristie is. And there's so much that keeps coming out. Be it the original cultures that were here. The whole area just has, and it's a geological formation, special crystals, like I said, radioactivity.
Yeah.
We've run through and done Bigfoot hunts through that general area. There's just a lot of really crazy as Tim's been over with us. It's a very interesting area. But again, your birthplace of two different religions in that
that's really
area.
interesting.
So to say that's why it's I mean that's where Hilkamora was. That was where the big event was. So a year ago, and they just sold everything off, which was really weird.
I know. Yeah.
So you look at those places. You look at the ley lines that run through there. There's just a lot of crazy stuff that happens in this particular
That's super
area of the
interesting.
world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
absolutely. See, now you girls are going to have to come out and visit us, and we're going to have to do some paranormal investigations, and we're going to have to take you around, and we're going to have some fun with that. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you look at that history and stuff like that. Like, oh, we can't do that. 5 miles down the road, what you're doing now, that's there, and it's again, I don't explain what's there. It's just some really interesting.
He's in denial.
Discoveries,
That's
he
pretty
live
neat.
in denial. That's all. I gotta yank him back and say, enough of that shit. Let's go. We have work to do.
I'm getting beat up again. Boy.
So,
I think I had something else, but I totally lost my train of thought. So
keep up, Michael. Keep up. This is just fun. Keep up. He's like me. I'm just gonna sit there. Come on, drink. Come on, act like a baby.
Yeah, I did not say gimbal.
Oh, that's our thing. So when you say gimbal, you know what a gimbal is? Do you know what the gimbals are? So whenever we say gimbal, we have to drink. It's a drinking game.
Another
It's
one
a
of our
drinking
friends,
game.
Matt,
Yeah.
runs another podcast. So
I love that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
We need a drinking game. Drinks and a deck. That's what we do.
Yeah,
See?
drinks in the deck. We haven't done it for a while though.
That's right. No, and I just watched a little bit of one of yours not too long ago too. You like the White Claw. That's what you were drinking that night, at least.
So Tara, I
No
mean,
calorie.
you live in a haunted house too. So don't your neighbors kind of say, you know, I remember you saying, you know, your kids walked in, there's something wrong with the house, we gotta go, kind of thing, you know, when you moved in?
Mhm.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. That's
And
because
if
my
you're in
father-in-law actually died here. And my oldest she can pick things up. She gets information different than I do, and she knew it. She knew it. She just couldn't explain it. So, but he comes and goes every once in a while, but there's nothing really
Right.
too freaky here.
Don't you think he would do that anyways, though? Like seriously,
Yeah.
if you moved into another house after he died,
Yeah.
his family, do you think he would, or do you not believe that would happen?
You know, I feel like I do. I think sometimes he shows up because I can smell him. He had a very distinct smell. And I think sometimes when my husband thinks about him, he shows up, of course.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, he kind of was just very accepting. And he was just like, all right, see you later. He's like, I'm going to go golf now. See you later. I think, he's just,
dad.
yeah, I think he's just kind of, you know, like, you guys just do your thing. You've got the house. You're here. You just call me when you want me. He's just kind of like that. He was like that in life too. He was like, cool, call me when you need me. But yeah, he's not very intrusive as far as, you know, spirit goes.
Yeah.
But,
because they can
I
be.
mean, because we sleep in his room and my husband sleeps on his side of the bed. So it's kind of like,
It's a little weird. No,
it's a little weird. It was definitely a topic of conversation before we moved in because he was like, I don't know if I can handle that. And I'm like, well, I'm not switching sides. So I'm not my dad.
You're on your own. It's your
You're
father.
lucky I'm
You're
even
out of
sleeping
luck.
here.
right. I'm telling
Be on the
you.
couch.
What is it that's behind you? By the door. Is that a bedroom? And there's a cabinet next to nope, other side.
That's the front door. And then, oh shit.
What's
which
on
way is
that
it going?
cabinet?
This
Yeah, right
cabinet is a pie cabinet, which he fought
what?
me tooth and nail about.
Dude,
He did not want to give me this fucking cabinet. I was like, I love that cabinet.
Is it like saggy balls?
Toilet dippers.
I was really hoping the
Just
opportunity was
nuts
going to
in the-
present itself.
Cabinet? Okay.
You missed that episode.
Toilet dippers
It's
never
the
get
Lizzie
old.
Borden episode that will go down in
You know,
infamy forever.
I have been trying to find it, and for some reason on Spotify, I haven't been able to find it.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
It's
all the way
for
at
on
the
Apple Podcasts, or you can go straight to Anchor.
Oh my God.
Lizzie
Oh,
Borden
how
was our
funny.
first official episode.
no, I mean it's in my Spotify. I just can't. I have your episode. I mean we use my phone when we go places.
Sorry about the
That
toilet
episode-
dippers. It's because we were talking about the basement bathroom.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And it being super cold. I don't even know how we got into it.
well, okay,
Oh,
so
that
seriously.
episode with the yes. Yeah.
So wait, but what room is that though? Because it's kind of foggy back there. It's kind of like
Well,
there's
my-
a lot of energy right there by that doorway in that cabinet. So what's
My
going on?
lighting
is.
is going a little darker, so it probably will be a little fuzzier. But that's actually the front door, and where the cabinet is it's facing our living room area, and then this goes
that's
down the
what I'm-
hall to the kids' rooms.
Okay, because in that doorway, somebody has like swung, like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know, and they swing around that, like, out of it, you know, to say,
I like
"Hey,"
ghosts hanging around.
and then he
Yeah.
swings back. Sorry.
Well, there was
because if I don't acknowledge it, you know how it goes.
That was my daughter crawling on the floor. Is that what you were laughing at? Because I'm like,
oh, I didn't see any of that.
She was trying to not be seen, so she's like crawling on the floor.
What
like,
was it the scary movies that were the mock all the horror movies?
Yeah.
You know, and as I could see, it was like, you know, it wasn't one of the Japanese horror movies. It was that like the same thing, like.
Yeah, she was trying. So I'm like, stay out of the way. I don't want to see you. I don't want you walking behind me. So she's like,
she crawled.
Trying to crawl so she won't be seen.
She didn't walk. She did listen.
She did listen technically. Yeah, technically right. She did kind of sort of follow the rules.
God,
yeah,
that's so funny.
Yes, but that pie cabinet. I always told him that I really liked it. And I'm like, whatever you do, don't get rid of that thing because I want it. I don't know why I want it, but I've always wanted a pie cabinet and just keep it. And he's like, what is your thing with this cabinet? I'm like, I don't know. I just want it. Like, I just want it. Okay. Don't get rid of it. And so when I moved in, I'm like, I got it. I got to have the last word. It's mine now.
I got this pie cabinet.
I have this pie cabinet. So I kind of laughed.
Nuts cabinet? Okay.
Pie and nuts cabinet. So I have his picture up there. I'm like, you can sit up here.
Well, yeah, I guess it should be pie and nuts because pie and saggy balls just would not do it.
No. He was a good man, so I'm sure he finds the humor in that. I kept your cabinet. I got it eventually.
Why I'm so zeroed in on it. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, and do you have any more questions about the paranormal? Because I actually want to ask them about Bigfoot and cryptids.
Well, we're gonna go there. Oh, trouble's here.
What's up, Christina?
So, before we jump off the paranormal, what's the first investigation that you guys want to do together?
Ooh. I think that we had talked about going to Yuma because we have another friend who's a tarot reader. Her page is Not So Mystical Tarot on Instagram. Okay. And she's in Arizona too she's there part of the year for work. So I was like, well, I'll just come out there and we can all three go together. And we covered Yuma in one of our episodes. So going there and seeing the places that we talked about and investigating there would be awesome. I don't know if you can investigate there, but they can't tell me I can't bring cards. So
right, it's a public place. We could
work around it.
Pay our entrance fee. I'm sure it will be fine.
I'll just sit over here with my cards. It'll be fine.
Pay no attention to the woman with the cards.
You're just playing cards in the.
I'm just. What am I doing?
No big deal. Just zero in the corner. No big deal.
That's awesome.
So, can you just read a regular deck instead of we're using a tarot deck to turn around and ask your questions?
Like
I know some folks use
like a Letterman deck.
No, like playing. I know, like playing cards. I know a lot of people use playing cards.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of people use playing cards. I haven't learned how yet. I don't even think it's that difficult. And I've seen some decks that have the playing cards and their tarot counterpart to learn them that way. I just haven't done it yet. So tarot deck, cool. Or any kind of deck, but except for playing cards.
Awesome.
All right, partner, you're up for questions.
Oh, I am? Oh, now he's assigning me. See, he's so bossy.
No, I got one in, so
shut
up. You're one question an hour.
Wine. You want some cheese with that wine?
All right. I'm running out of glow sticks to throw.
Who are you gonna throw, Matt?
That's
right.
Teddy tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as it's Teddy. So the Mothman episode.
Oh my God.
Fucking hysterical.
It's my favorite episode.
Got so out of fucking control. That was the silliest episode.
God. Oh my God.
It started out
for younger audiences. That's new. Wait a second. Where did that ticker come from? That's new.
We are talking about sexy Mothman now, so
please. Okay, so this is where it gets good. So please enlighten the audience about that episode. because this I
Right.
think was just classic Tera and Karly. And I was in my car. I swear to God, the people driving next to me and parked next to me must have thought I was off my fucking rocker because I was laughing so hard. And I was like, yes, that's so true. Yeah, you go. They were like, oh, yeah.
So ridiculous.
So that episode, we wanted to do Mothman anyways because I really love true crime. So I was already aware of the bridge disaster, and I thought that covering Mothman would be a fun way to pull in a little bit of true crime. At the time, that was the original intent. And then we have this group chat with a podcast based out of England. They're called Marvels, Mysteries, and Midlanders. And we would chat in there with them all the time. And I woke up that morning and I was writing the episode and the group chat pings and I saw a picture of Mothman with his abs. And I was like, I made some joke about being surprised by Mothman's abs and it spun
Yes.
like hours long conversation.
We were looking for photos too to post, and it was just these ridiculous photos of Mothman. Like it was the books too, like the smut, the romance novels.
Listen, I haven't said this anywhere else, but I bought one because I bought one of the Mothman books. Not because Tara and I briefly had the idea of how much fun it would be to buy one of these books and read it and make fun of it, joke about it. Yeah. And I bought it thinking that there was going to be like I don't know what I thought. I thought it would be a good joke.
We were going to do like a fireside chat kind of thing and read like a couple of paragraphs out of it, Like,
keep the joke.
It was so bad.
Porn.
It was. We could not get through it. We're like, we cannot read this.
So it's like, oh. I was like, well, now I'm telling you all that I paid $3 for that garbage. I made it 3 pages in and was like, no, I can't read another word of this. So this can never see the light of day.
So are you going to go to Point Pleasant for the Mothman Festival and put your head next to the Mothman butt?
The shiny hiney.
Shiny hiney.
Yes.
I don't know if I would be there for the festival. I don't know when it is, but I'm sure we could plan that. That actually would be a lot of fun.
Do they have Richard Gere's face on the Mothman?
No. Hang on. I was swapping Mothboy Matt. I know Greg's in the chat.
Come on, where are our peeps with this? Come on.
We have like
in the audience here.
The whole Discord guys. Are you guys on Clubhouse?
No.
Oh, you need to get on Clubhouse.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
It's another podcast basically app. Everybody's younger than me. It's like the old telephone chat lines you call in, or
that's cool.
combined with a TED Talk. So somebody will pick a topic, and then you can listen in to the talk. And if you have a question, you can ask it of the panel.
And Mike tends to be on the panel every week. And yes, when it's not working too much. However, no, you guys would love it because honestly, the group is really good. And anybody out there, try to, you can look up any topic. So, but as far as cryptids goes, there's a really good group of people who get on every week, sometimes a couple times a week with just different groups. And you can just listen. And, you can raise your hand, you can just whatever. Sometimes they let you ask questions. So, yeah. And they pick different topics and different things to discuss. Everyone has, their specialty, right, that they focus on. And it's really, it is interesting. Again, something I don't always gravitate to, especially because I don't have the time. But yeah, I definitely get on there. And sometimes even when Mike's not involved with, first it was his thing. And I was like, okay, I'll do it to support you and see what this is like. And then I find when I'm getting pinged for it, that even I'm listening in, as you get to become familiar with the people who are involved.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
they talk about all that stuff.
They had to skip the festival this year, and I'm just
wasn't that?
But there's a whole Moth Boys podcast that's their thing, and then Seth Breedlove that I did the Bigfoot documentary with. He did a whole Mothman thing, so I was trying to find it. I know there's a picture. I know Kenzie and Asher have got pictures of Mothman butt somewhere. So I'll have to
Mothman's
find it.
foot. You got to smack it for luck.
And leave them some pork and beans, apparently.
Some pork and
Fucking
beans.
beans. What?
Yes.
People leave pork and beans and Mountain Dew for
Pork and
Mothman.
Yeah.
I don't want him being gassy. I mean,
No.
the saggy balls are going to
bad enough he's dusty.
sound weird and and his big chicken legs, right? Which one of you said that? Oh my god, I was peeing my pants.
I am not
those rugged
messing.
abs with those teeny tiny skinny chickens.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
because we were talking about the
Sandhill cranes. I'll
yeah.
never get over this. I see them all the time. I saw them recently. Sandhill cranes are like knee height. There's no way. There's no way I'll die on this hill. Sandhill cranes are not Mothman. I'm so passionate about this. I did see a crane the other day, though. I go walking around this lake a lot. It's a part of a wetland, so there's always alligators and birds and stuff. And I saw a bird that was so big that I was like, all right, if that thing flew at me, I don't know what kind of bird it was, but it's like if that bird came up on me, I would think that was Mothman. It was big from a distance. So if it was closer.
they just had another Mothman sighting just within the last couple of weeks. And
Oh no. Does that mean disaster? Take
well,
heed.
it's kind of weird. There's a lot of interesting things that, you know, I'm not a big Mothman person. Dave Spink's a good guy to ask. I said,
Yeah.
Mothman boys, there's a whole group of folks that we know that have done documentaries on it. But there's a lot of ties to our area here
Yeah.
and
Really?
the history around there and stuff like that, because there's another cryptid that's in our area that kind of goes with it. So you kind of
Cool.
found it. Heather would be a good one to talk to.
What's the other
Small
cryptid
town
in your
monsters.
area?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a flying head, but it kind of goes along with the whole thing.
Really?
But
Yeah.
Cool.
there's a chieftain that actually was from this area that passed in Point Pleasant. So if you catch the small town monsters, Mothman Legacies, you'll actually see like the thing, and supposedly he put a curse, and it's right near the bridge, and it's there's some interesting other ties that folks miss.
Cool.
But everybody thinks of the Richard Gere thing because it's cool. There's a lot of other crazy stuff that goes along with it.
My mother's like in love with Richard Gere. When you guys brought
I
that
love
up, I was
Richard Gere
laughing.
too, but man, that movie.
But yeah, it's a huge
Right?
that Mothman festival is huge. It's what makes
It is.
it makes that town.
Oh, yeah,
And like I
'cause
said,
we
I think
had
Dave
the
Spinks
Mothman
was there.
costume contest that we were going to throw.
Right. That's right. Pie eating contest. Remember we were doing pie eating or something too? I don't know even what we
I
were
think it was
talking
only sexy Mothman costume contest. And we volunteered ourselves to be judges.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys think of the Bigfoot and the cryptids, and where do you stand on all of that?
Oh, man. 100% on Bigfoot. It's one of those ones where if someone, I don't know, I feel like there are still new species being discovered. I know I'm ever the skeptical, but I think that there's still so much that we don't know. But the thing about Bigfoot that I always come back to is that there are Bigfoot legends across the world. Obviously, you both know this, but if it was something made up or a guy in an ape suit, then why do we have them for all of these years globally, not just in one little corner of the world, globally? So I think it's entirely possible. And I am more on the side of yes than
I have skeptical spectacles on.
skeptical.
I know.
It's usually me, and I'm over here like,
I
yeah.
know. I don't know. I think it's entirely possible. With the Bigfoot, but are we ever going to find it? Are we ever going to find him?
No, see, that's the $1 million question.
I want to know. I mean,
Very
because
soon.
they get on the trail, and then
I want to
we
be there.
lose them. And I need this. I need this so bad.
If you liked, I had someone tell me,
need
I'm
it.
involved in a lot of strange conversations. I had someone tell me that they believe that Bigfoot was interdimensional, and so we get these glimpses of it, like walking through a doorway, and we get these quick glimpses because the timelines, the worlds are colliding, and there's just a hole that Bigfoot can walk through and goes back into his own world. So like dimension crossing. There's a word for that. I didn't say it for any of it, but
astral planing. So that
There
was
you
my
go,
next
thank you.
question. That's the big question I always ask people about the Bigfoot and the cryptids. Do you think it's possible that is it human, or is it paranormal? Is there
Ooh,
that's a good question.
that is a good question. I don't know the answer. I would
It
I
entirely
would have
could
said
be.
human-like originally, but now I'm leaning towards paranormal. So I don't know. It depends on the day.
Yeah, that's a really good.
Very
That's
good.
a really good thought, though, because
That's a good thought.
fae and unicorns, they exist on a different plane, right? Which
Mhm.
can I just tell you that I balked at that one too?
Oh yeah,
I did. I was
All
like,
right.
what?
for me, you're welcome.
What? I'm talking to dead people, but fairies, no.
Yeah.
I say the
How
same thing
dare
about
I?
UFOs, and now the
It's
government
like-
says, yeah, they're there.
I
I know,
know.
right?
But see, the more
Yeah.
I do these things, the more things come up, and I'm like, huh,
Yeah.
shit on a
Maybe I
stick.
believe in that too.
Hey,
I'll
we
be
had that for dinner
damned.
the other night.
I'll be damned. So it's like shit on a stick.
I like mine with mashed potatoes.
Where's the buttons? Where's the buttons?
I do.
Yeah. So I think you might be onto something there. What if it is just a different?
See, they're just
Universe.
glitching. There's a glitch, and Bigfoot
So-
walks through.
Right.
Our
This is
reality
what
is-
I think.
What
This is
if?
what I think. I think
What if?
there is enough evidence so far, I think, to convince me that, well, my gut says that yes, they are most likely human, or excuse me, alive. But
Yeah.
as a medium, if I can astro project and I can remote view and I can use
Yeah.
my energy to be other places and do what I do, why can't they too? Animals we already know are sensitive, right?
Yeah.
Why can't Bigfoot or anything else on this planet, for that matter,
Right.
do that as well? So that's kind of my position on it, and it took me a long time to get there. And it
Yeah.
took meeting Mike to really even grasp it, because I had no interest in it before. My husband's watched History Channel and aliens and Bigfoot for years and Loch Ness Monster. I'm like, but I had my plate full of my own crap. So I was like, that's too much to
Yeah.
worry about. I can't even wrap my head around that. But you're right. I talk to dead people for a living.
Right. I'm like, how am I discounting this when
Right?
this is what I do for a
I
living?
know.
So, and I feel like at this point in my life, even if we personally are not meant to experience certain things on that
Right.
level, it doesn't mean it can't be possible.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of just where I stand on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I
with
agree
that.
with you girls, because you never know.
Yeah.
Never
And I
know.
love how you say it depends on the day, because sometimes
I want
yeah,
it
you
so
just feel like
bad.
that, right?
I want it to be
It's-
real so bad, because how
know.
fucking cool would that be?
I have a
How
medium friend
cool
who
would that be?
absolutely saw one, who was on vacation with her husband, and they were
No way.
hiking, and boom, one walked right across the trail in front of him.
After
really
she
wanna
said the
see
day
one.
before they didn't exist.
Like, yeah.
That's always when they show up. No,
Mhm.
I really want. I want to go Bigfoot hunting. I think it would be so much fun. I know
we
there's
should
groups.
go.
Yeah, we should go. I know there's groups in Texas too. So
Yep.
eventually,
That would be cool.
Actually, there's a big conference down there next week, the week after, Texas Bigfoot Conference.
Soon, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
it's
Yeah.
the 16th, I think. Steve's speaking
Yeah.
in it. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, we
Cool.
know people who are going. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
That is
But-
super neat.
Yeah.
you know, I've been out a couple of times in Florida. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's Matt Larson we had on the show. Matt does Central Florida Bigfoot.
Mhm.
oh,
Cool.
You know, and we did near the Green Swamp. We went out, and we've
Not
some
me. He.
really not me.
He and Matt and his group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been there. I've been out with the guys from Naked and Afraid. We've hit some other swamps by kayak. You know, there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, there's stuff in Arizona. There's stuff, you know, near. I talked to Jesus Payan. He was on Breaking Bad the other day. He's a big Bigfooter. He's breaking Bigfoot's
Cool.
actually his thing. It looks like the whole thing's from Breaking Bad. But yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
right in that New Mexico, Arizona. Gets into that whole Four
Wow.
Corners area and down in there, and it's really. You just got to look and see. The best thing about it is getting out, enjoying the nature,
Yes.
getting out with a bunch of folks. And,
It's experience. It's
Yes.
experience, and it's fun, and it's the camaraderie. I think that's what's really fun
Yes.
about it. So even if
Yeah.
you don't see anything, it's okay, because you're all out there for the same thing and you're having fun. I
Yeah.
think it's really cool.
Well, plus,
Yeah.
you know, being in nature, you're grounding, you're connecting.
Yeah.
It just, refreshes you, replenishes you. Yeah, it's awesome.
This is why we want witch cabins in the
Yep.
witch
Witch
all
cabins,
around.
what's that?
Oh, we're gonna be neighbors and we're gonna live in the woods together.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was a
You're
thing.
not going to eat
So that's
small
a Carly
children
Tera
and
thing.
put,
Gotcha.
candy out
I
for
love
them or
that.
anything.
No
Okay.
small children
Come on,
eating,
come
but
on,
we
come
have
on.
discussed ways to make our driveway long and spooky so that nobody wants to come and see us. If this were the 1600s, there would be rumors and children in bonnets would run from our
The witches.
I love the conversations you guys have. They blow ours right out of the water.
Like, take us away.
because I'm
We
bored.
want to be witches.
Oh,
Yeah,
teasing.
why
It's
not?
the squirrel brain. Takes
Yes.
you places.
Wow.
So,
It definitely does.
Go ahead, Michael. I can see the smoke coming out of your ears. You need to release the pepper this year.
I know true crime really gets you guys, but
Oh, I
when
love
you
true
look at a topic or pick a where you're going to go, how do you decide what topics you guys are going to talk about for your show?
We have a list on the notes app that we share. It's a running list, and I scroll through it and pick one.
But how did you come to make that list?
I read a lot, and I do spend a lot of time listening to other podcasts. So it was one of those things where when we decided that we were going to do this podcast and really do it, anytime I had a thought, and you've heard the way I talk, my thoughts kind of go beep, 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 beep. If I had the thought, I wrote it down.
Right.
So I would watch ghost hunting shows or, just read things on the internet and be like, well, that place looks cool. So, there's a mixture of big ones like the Lizzie Borden house. And then the next one we did was a smaller story. At least for me, I hadn't heard it, was just Huldah the Witch.
Mhm.
I feel like she's less well known than like the Bell
Yeah,
Witch,
I
which
don't
was
think
also on there. So
I
yeah,
don't
it's just
know.
an ongoing. We add topics, and then there's been a couple times where we scrolled through. It's a long list, and we were like, no, none of them, and pick something
I
random.
believe it. I
Yeah,
believe
so
it.
that's how this last week we did the alien abduction of Travis Walton. And that one wasn't on the list. I just was like, hey, what should we talk about? And
It's
that's how
spooky
it happened.
season.
That's
Let's
the
do
best
something
way.
spooky.
Yeah, spooky
I'm
season.
like,
Right.
well, aliens always scare the fuck out of me, so let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
That works. I love it.
And,
There you go.
and Travis's story is really interesting. And
Yeah.
I see Lori's here, but I didn't see Dave was in the chat. He actually, one of the
yeah.
guys that actually follows our show,
Mhm.
worked for the same crew that Travis was
really?
part of. It was after the abduction, but when
Yeah.
it was with that crew, so it's kind of interesting.
That is really
Wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fully set to not believe that story. So I was surprised that by the end of it, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I accept this.
You can just tell sometimes when you hear someone talking about
Yeah.
something, right? And
Well,
you're going,
hearing all of them.
"Hmm."
I mean,
You
I
know
read
what?
about it, but I watched a documentary first. So I watched the fictional movie and then I watched the documentary and I was like, oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go from Fire into the Sky to Travis's documentary, yeah, it's a
Yep.
big difference. And
Yeah.
you know,
We're gonna
That's the
have,
one I saw first. That's what set me
Fire in the
off.
Sky.
'Cause I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah.
no. And living in Arizona, like we had just moved here and I ended up watching it in like my 9th grade science class. And I'm like, why would you fucking show us that? Seriously,
I
what does
answered
that have
my
anything to
mom
do with science? And so we're all watching it and I had seen it already. And then I got to relive the terror all over again. And I was like, I can't sleep now. And then it was, what's the show X-Files was on, and it was just this I just can't. I don't do aliens. It freaked me out. And I think it was because it was here in Arizona that it freaked me out more. And it's always stayed with me. I'm like, oh my God, let's do it. I want to know the story. So let's talk about it. So I love that.
I have to squirrel for a minute though, because Mike, have you watched the X-Files?
yeah. I mean, it's been years.
Have you seen the Bigfoot episode?
I don't remember the Bigfoot episode, so I'm gonna have to go look for
You'll
I
it.
have
wanted
to
to know
watch
what
it
you thought
now.
about it.
Oh, you know what he's going to do when he's trying to fall asleep tonight.
Actually, what was his name? We met one of the
Dean
characters. from the-
Hagland.
Yes.
I was going to bring that up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we met.
We met
from
Dean
the X-Files.
Hagland from
Yeah.
Michigan, or at Michigan Paracon. Yeah,
Cool.
really cool guy. Very funny. Oh my God. He did like a comedy.
Yeah.
act. as one of the presentations. Oh my god!
What is it? Haunted Makeovers or something like that is his new YouTube
makeovers.
thing. Yeah, he's
You know
like,
what? I have the thing right here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we got Brian doing the UFO thing. It was an abduction guy that
Bill Konkoleski is going to be a guest on our show. He actually does a talk and a presentation. He actually has been abducted by aliens and has been watched his whole life, and he talks about it. Yep, and his wife too. I believe he said that's how they met.
That's scary.
So, Dean,
what's their blood type?
What's their blood type? We need to make sure that we're not going to attract the attention of aliens. All other creatures.
But that was part of it too. Blood.
See, what did I say? If I ask about them,
Alien blood.
Alien blood.
Are you Rh negative or positive? It's one of those. It's like I read that somewhere that they usually watch people with very rare blood types.
Christina or Tim, Betsy and the Vermont alien abduction.
Cool.
See, we need more alien abduction stories because I like one.
They were neat. It was really interesting to talk about and learn about. He seems like a very genuinely nice man.
Betty and Barney Hill.
Oh yeah, I just added that to the list. Yeah.
In a way,
to my master list. I had someone comment that recently too. I don't know anything about that story either, so that'll be a fun one.
I think that's in. Well, do you guys follow Small Time Monsters at all?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Oh, look,
yeah. Seth Breed loves Small Town Monsters, so he does Bigfoot and cryptids. So he's got Bigfoot, he's got Mothman.
Yeah,
got a couple of Mothman ones. But they're doing a whole it's on the trail UFOs, a whole nother with Shannon LeGros, and I know they've done some of that stuff. I've got brand new. They're dark skies. It's in the other room. I haven't had
sit down. And Mike was in one of the documentary movies. Just so you know.
Well, we're gonna have to check it out now.
Yeah,
journey.
I know him. Throwing popcorn at my TV.
Tomatoes, maybe.
I love it.
But yeah, they're doing a whole nother UFO thing right now. They're in Colorado. They're doing they were doing the cattle mutilation or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Jeez.
Discovery has some good. Tim's dad, Tom, we had on the show.
Yes, we did.
I throw pork chops at you, Tim.
That's my dog. Sorry.
You put pork chops, which you put on the new Bigfoot hunter as bait.
Gotcha. Okay.
But Tim's dad, Tom Conwell, has done some really good UFO research and stuff like that. So some really good maps, and we had Tom on the show. So
that's so cool.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah, it really is very interesting.
And Tim's another medium and stuff like that. I've been on a couple of paranormal investigations with him. Actually had something run off that could possibly have been on 2 feet into the woods, very large, very heavy, into the swamp, in a very spooky haunted house. One I will not go inside.
That I still need to get to.
It's the only haunted place I will not go inside.
The only one.
Well,
really?
I'll get you there.
Because
I haven't been in it yet. I'll get you there.
Nope, it's bad juju. Bad.
I want to know why. You don't have to tell me any details, but just tell me why. What kind of bad juju? I mean, what can you tell me without telling me?
I
can keep it.
There's a lot of stuff with the land.
Okay.
There is a lot of Tim's right. It did not like me. Tim was with me when we saw something behind the building. They had to say some prayers and move it out of the way. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
don't worry, you can go back. I'll protect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've been to a lot of places. Been a lot of scary places. Worked with a lot of scary people over the years. And I've been a recovery diver for years and seen a lot of nasty stuff. But this place is...
That's right up my alley. Tell me all about it.
Let's put it this way. I have a
ready to run.
I watched an investigator have something happen. Actually, the night that Tim was there, run out of the house, run down to his car, and leave half of his tires in the driveway, trying to get out of the driveway to get out.
I really need to go there.
I found half of deer carcasses up in the trees. One of my coworkers spent time as a kid there, and you talk about it. He's a big burly guy. I mean, it does a tough job for a living, and I watched him tear up, watch the hair pop up on this thing, and it's like, I'm never ever going back in that house again. And stuff
super scary.
Me too. I mean, I have not been there yet.
That makes me want to go more.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Watch the dark shadow come along the back of the house, and the security camera's up, and I'm taking my hand going, can we replicate the colors? That black, put my flashlights up, try to do the whole thing.
Trying to debunk it. Cool.
No debunking.
Mike was drunk when he went to the house?
No, not me. That was the other guy. But literally watch the thing move along the back of the house, and then one of the other people was with us, Michelle. She ended up saying a prayer, and the thing, boop. Yeah.
Wow.
I tried to replicate, try to figure out where the light was coming from, and it was.
It's pretty intense.
It's intense.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, Kristie, talk to Teddy about it. Yeah, it's a creepy,
I have.
place.
No, I have.
The town historian has Bigfoot sightings. They've had other stuff. It's just a creepy. And they always talk about when they build these energy boxes to bring the spirits in. There's a giant transformer from the power company, like, on the swamp that's right next to the property. So you're just pumping all this water and all this stuff in there. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So
hikes.
Yeah. It's just like a big magnet, like a big sign, like, come get me, come find me. Just sucks it all in.
See that?
Yeah.
Yep. Should let her know that it's being taped, or he's being taped.
Oh, they know. They know.
So we can blow that. We can cut that. We can blow that out, and
I love it.
20 years from now, when you need something special for a wedding, you got it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right,
Remember
girls.
that time your ass was on the line? Yeah. There you are, walking around like a freak back there. What are you doing?
Your mom wanted to kill you, and she couldn't. Yeah. No. Oh gosh, I can't believe it's already 9:45. So, talk to us about the future. What's going on in the future? What are your plans? What do
We
you
have
want
so
to
many
do?
lofty goals.
We have
so many
all of the lofty goals. We have some smaller things that are going to be coming up. We are working on a class and a tarot spread workbook for spirit guides, how you can meet your guide, how you can grow your relationship with them, spreads for conversation, things like that. Yeah, all of the things.
Basically a spirit guide 101 kind of class.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll have a few other classes and accompanying books and things coming up. And we're working on creating some of our own decks, which are going to be very exciting. Yeah, and lofty long-term goals. We really would like to take the podcast on the road and ghost hunt together and go to all of the things, or Bigfoot hunt. I'm not judgy. I just want to do some cool shit.
We'll do it all. We'll do it all. I'll go anywhere you want me to go.
We did both in one night.
See, I would do both in one night.
If you pick the right location in the right creepy set of woods, you can do both in the same evening.
I am up for it. Yeah, we have good plans, and I am more than confident that it is going to work out and it's going to happen. We have fun just doing what we're doing, so hopefully it'll get bigger and it'll open more opportunities for us, because I don't want it to end.
We love it. We love it so.
If you love it, you'll always keep it alive, and it's who you are. So it's never going to go anywhere. It's never going to die. So
exactly.
Awesome. That's amazing. You two have a knack for being able to do what you do the way you do it.
Thank
You really
you.
do, yeah. And you educate, people learn, but you're able to use your gifts in a way that really reaches them, and that's so important. Isn't that's the goal for everybody, right? That to just figure out how we're supposed to do what we're supposed to do, and hope and pray to God we don't fuck it up, right?
Well, now you know you can't. You can't fuck it up, no matter what.
And that's a big thing. I really do look to see when your notifications are coming up, when you guys are getting on just the BS or do a quick card thing, because the interaction that you guys have with your fans is awesome. I mean, it's one of those nice get home from work and I've had a crappy day, and you guys do really. It's a nice laugh, but you're helping folks out. So
don't make me cry. That's so nice.
I'll make it worse.
That's really sweet.
Who do you want to work with? Who else do you guys want to work with?
Discovery Channel.
Oh wow!
I mean, if you,
I like that.
Hey, those are goals. No, man, I don't know. Who do you want to work with, Carly? I'm just along for the ride. I'll go anywhere. I don't care.
Literally anybody who would want to. But
Ghost Brothers.
I love the Ghost Brothers. I just think that they're so funny. I watch a lot of.
Well, you guys, of course.
Who? Yeah, you guys.
You guys, but.
Yeah, well, I just
they were obligated to say that because they're on the show.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
no, we love you. We want to. We'll make it up there.
I hope so.
I
think we'll have a lot of fun.
We will for sure.
Yeah, no, we'd love to work with anyone and everyone.
Texas, we're doing no, Louisiana's kind of crazy. We end up with
Listen, I'm already surrounded by alligators. I'm looking forward to being by water that doesn't have gators.
Oh, you're gonna go to sharks then, right?
I'm gonna go to sharks then. Yes, the sharks in the river.
Mike just doesn't want to go anywhere where he knows I'm gonna get wild and crazy, because then he's just gonna have to babysit me the whole time, and then he's just
Nah.
Then you'll have two more with you if we're there.
No, we're not going there. No. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Unless there's a big casino. I mean, that's
casino.
Sure there
I
is.
didn't look to see if I was off to Las Vegas.
There's lots of casinos here.
And I look for traveling when it's better. I got a lot.
Are you in northern Arizona or southern Arizona?
Middle.
I'm
30 minutes from Phoenix. I'm in Tempe.
I almost moved there.
Did you?
Yep. And then I watched the guys in the police academy in August where it was 110 degrees out running, and I said,
that's mild.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of summer.
Yep.
And then I went to the Grand Canyon, and my friend who was in the Grand Canyon with sprained her ankle, and I had to carry her out because we weren't close enough to either of the aid stations. Yeah, I said, nope.
Your vacation attacked you. No thanks.
But
that's a no. That's
Grand Canyon was awesome. I slept in the Grand Canyon every 10 years. I need to go to Grand Canyon. There's got to be some really good stuff in the canyon.
I have never been to the Grand Canyon.
I bet there is.
Either. I worry about going sometimes, but I haven't.
There's some pretty cool, like caverns are really cool to go to. We have Grand Canyon caverns. I like that stuff because I'm a nerd, and so I'm like, ooh, caverns. But it's like all the things.
So much more to that, though.
There's so much, but there's just a lot of rich history here as far as I mean, it's the Wild West, so there's gold mines and all of that stuff. So it's pretty cool to go check it out, and then just to see the Grand Canyon. If you don't see it but once, it's really beautiful to go to, and Sedona is beautiful, and all of those. So there are some really pretty landmarks that you should see at least once, but otherwise it's a lot of fucking cactus.
Well, I mean, if you go up, if you've got that little cut through between the canyon and Phoenix, I mean, you got that old Chandler area, and if you got the mountains, that's pretty getting up in there. I mean,
she's not buying it. Look at her face. Yeah. Nah. No.
It's why I live where I live.
Not selling me. But you know what? No. Yeah, I would rather live here than live where there's, earthquakes, which I already did my entire life. I'm not moving back to California. And, natural disasters. So I'll stay right here Cactus and I will be friends. And we'll be fine. I don't have to shovel snow. I don't have to deal with earthquakes or tornadoes. We're fine. I'll take the
Scorpions in
heat.
your shoes.
Yes.
I have been stung twice.
I've had a scorpion come out of a box of cereal.
No,
in my house
what?
in Texas. Yeah.
Hell to the
Yeah.
no on
My
that
husband
one.
was pouring cereal. The scorpion came out, landed on the table. I was like, I don't like scorpions.
No.
He smushed it and then just kept eating like the scorpion wasn't just in there with it. I don't, that probably doesn't make a difference.
Michelle, don't make any comments right now. Stop typing, Michelle.
Michelle, just private message me. I'll handle it from there. He's talking to his mom. Just saying. So there must be a good story
I
that
had
he
an
doesn't let
insect
that come out.
story with a
What?
box of Raisin Bran. Let's just say.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm still
protect
gonna
Raisin
message
Well,
you.
you
Bran.
Don't worry. I'll
started
give you-
now.
I'll give
I'll
you
wait
a
until
screenshot
you're
of
ready.
that story.
Whole box full of ants inside.
All right, Michelle, move it. Oh.
4 bowls later, when I realized as I sat down to cartoons,
No.
don't eat ants. Crickets are okay. Other water bugs, but ants not good.
Oh, 4 bowls, Michael, to get 4 bowls.
4 bowls?
4 bowls.
I sat in front of my cartoons. And, yep.
You were focused, man.
Raisin Bran versus ants. No, what do ants taste like?
What
Do they
kid
taste
eats
like
Raisin Bran and likes it? That's what I want to
Raisin
know.
Bran.
It's not allowed sugared cereal, and that was closest I could go.
It was those chewy little raisin bits.
Yep.
I liked Raisin Bran too, so I get it.
I do
But
too, but
most kids are like
yeah.
grape
Yeah,
nuts.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah,
Nope.
not great nuts.
This is garbage. Get it out of here.
Get out of
I
here.
thought you were playing with like rat poop or something. And
It
you said
does.
insects,
No,
but I
it's
was like,
ants.
what about the raisins? How do I like raisins?
God. No
That's
lie, I
weird.
used to work at one of the grocery stores here, and I used to work at the front desk. So one time, this guy comes up and he just like, "Here you go." Now, mind you, I'm like 18, okay, and he just plops this unopened, seriously sealed package of Oreos, and I looked at him like, "You want to return these?" Like,
What's the
okay.
problem?
Oh,
Yeah.
his sister's here. Oh, yes. His sister just popped on. Come on, give us
You're
the
in
details,
trouble when the
Nikki.
sister comes on. She can tell all your dirty secrets.
So I look at this thing, right? He's like, look at it. Like, I'm the one who did it, right? So I pick it up and I'm like, I don't understand. So I'm looking and he flips it over and he goes, here. And he shakes it up a little bit. The thing was, I swear, I kid you not, infested with some sort of little ant or whatever. They were crawling all over. You could see them.
Oh,
They looked like,
gross.
it's almost like if we took the cookie crumbs way in the bottom of the tray, but there was a lot more of them, and they just came alive, and they were just, I don't know. It was awful. He goes, there you go. And I was like, oh my, it was,
What do I do with this?
5 years ago. To this day, I have no idea how that happened. I've never seen anything like it since. I could not believe it. But I promise you, he didn't eat them.
You probably saw them moving around in there.
He did. I don't know. I said, oh my God.
When the cookie package just gets up and moves itself around, it's kind of a cue. We're not eating that.
Yeah, it's like the maggots from Poltergeist. Nope, not gonna eat.
It's my favorite movie. Caroline.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, ladies, it is that time. Mike, can you believe it? 2 hours has flown by.
Thank you so much for having us.
Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. It was so much fun to have you. We're going to have you back on again. I hope you'll join us.
Please.
Yes, absolutely.
We're really excited
Anytime.
to see what you're going to do in the future here. And we would love to work with you and do
Yeah.
something with you. Yeah. Oh my
Let's
gosh.
do it.
Let's do a team up. That would be super fun.
I
Yeah.
really would. That's
100%.
kind of like what we're doing tomorrow night. So we love
Yeah.
teaming up with other people and other teams. Oh yeah, it's so much fun. You know,
Yeah, we're
we
going
get
to.
so much more trouble that way.
You know, it's that there's another podcast. We
Yeah.
we like to get out with other folks. Like you said, I did one with another podcast.
Words.
It's your turn.
Yeah. I got out
Enunciate.
with Steve from Squatch DTV, last week. We did
Yeah.
Matt from Central Florida Bigfoot. Get out there and, if we don't get out and collaborate and look at this,
Right.
our journey
Yeah.
kind of just,
It's how we learn. It's
slows
how we
down.
grow. It's how we figure shit out. You
And
know?
we've had the absolute fortune of meeting some of the neatest people since
really
we
have.
started this. And I'm so very grateful, and I know Carly is too, that we have kind of just bonded with everybody and you guys. And it's we haven't met anybody we haven't liked. So we've been very, very fortunate.
It's
and
early.
So excited.
No.
It was very PC of you.
Yeah.
Good job.
No, but for
You
real,
coached
no,
well.
it's, honestly, we haven't, and it's been really, really great to establish,
Good.
friendships and make them, and it's been really fun. So we look forward to being able to travel and meet everybody face to face instead of this way, and do some really super fun things. We're really excited.
And get some cool evidence.
That's right. I'm telling you, it's awesome.
All the scares and swears.
That's right. Saggy balls. Sorry, I just think this fucking hysterical.
The dippers.
Okay, you just made me decide that I'm not bringing a particular piece of equipment tomorrow because I know where it's going to go.
But now you have to. The jokes. Think of
All
the
right, hang
jokes.
on. We got a minute. I know he's not going to do anything. All right. Let's see here.
Oh, that was a little up close. What are you doing? All right, so tell us real quick about a little bit about your show that you have coming up. What's your next topic? Can you let us in on a little? What are you gonna talk about?
Funny story. We haven't decided yet. I'll look on my list right now.
Well, I can't wait to find out what it is then.
Let's see. It's spooky season. We're gonna do. Well, the first thing that my eyes hit on was the H.H. Holmes house, who is a serial killer, and I feel like if any, isn't it
cat balls?
Cat ball.
Almost. Yes.
Do you want to touch my balls?
Tomorrow. Yeah. Especially, like I said, who we're going with tomorrow. I just after this, I realized that I'm not bringing my balls with me tomorrow. Yep.
They fit so nicely in your pocket. Why wouldn't you?
Get my glow sticks. I'll be good to go.
It's like a whole disco in your pants. You got glow sticks and cat balls.
Tiny balls.
I mean,
Oh, these are tactical balls.
Tactical balls.
They're meant to be thrown, not played with.
tactical balls. Oh my god!
That's it. That's your
How
nickname.
funny!
Magic Mike with all the shiny.
Oh my god! How funny! Magic Mike.
Ghost hunting, but make it Magic Mike. Bigfoot hunting.
Yes.
Magic Bigfoot.
Magic Mike research.
I'm getting the holy water. Bring it on my computer.
Hey, you walked right into that one. I don't want to
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
did.
Wait till Cindy gets her hands on that one tomorrow.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Holmes.
Oh.
What's the house? I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
He's a serial killer. They tore it down, but I feel like if any place is going to be haunted, it's going to be that little patch of land right there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
think I saw that episode on
serial killers.
don't worry, I'll skip the
anymore.
details. I learned from the last time that we did a murder.
Oh jeez.
Sort of. I sort of learned.
Orgy. What?
Yeah.
You said
What?
orgy? What?
You say an orgy?
I said I don't. Who said orgy? I said I stay away from serial killers. What?
I thought Carly did. I was like,
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I did, but maybe. I was talking about orgies earlier today. So
What?
All right. For you folks on WLFE DB Radio, we're going to be signing off. The rest of our channels will be up for a few minutes here. I'm just going to pop off theirs. So, because we're at that 10 o'clock hour.
So it's getting hot in here. It's getting really hot in here.
thank you.
All right.
That was